terminology on that one, huh?
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And that is across midfield and inside the 45. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Cousins gives way to Cook. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
On 2nd down, Cook. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
And it's pretty evident when you watch how Minnesota plays, just how important Dalvin Cook is to their offense. 1,000-yard rusher a year before, the first one the Vikings had since Adrian Peterson was dominating their carries. And having Cook in the lineup for the bulk of the season, that made Minnesota exactly what their head coach Mike Zimmer wanted them to be. A much more
looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Buster Screen. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. They'll work for the first time with Tariq Cohen. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
A gain of 4.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
The catch is made by Riley Ridley. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. So that one a disaster, a big loss there with 2nd down coming up. So they have the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. Forced out to his left, and that is incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Again, it's Trubisky. Going deep this time for Miller. And this is caught at the 20. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense because they forced a 3rd down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Dancing to his left. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. He can run for it, and he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. 14 yards, and the Bears have taken the early lead. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Taken down.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 7.
Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Jackson picks it. And it'll be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Bears 7, Vikings nothing.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. After the interception, here's Trubisky. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Trubisky now off the bootleg. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
On second down, here's Trubisky. Complete. What a catch at the 7. The Bears on the move. They've got another first down.
At the 7.
That certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Flush, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Now Trubisky to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. You end up having to take 3 there.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
On the return, the Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They run, Cook, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
33-yard line. That's a gain of 3.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there.
The ball carrier.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
For the Vikings.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Bears take over.
1st and 10.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Incomplete. It's now 2nd down.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Trubisky. Flush to his right. They'll find Miller. That's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. He pitches it out. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. That is caught by Cohen. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Down.
Second down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Here's Foles. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Sidney Jones. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
It's a gain of 8.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24.
Roquan Smith in on the tackle.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Calling a gain is 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Play fake, Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On play action, Cousins. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 40. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Play action now. Cousins. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A really good pickup of 28 yards. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Now Cook. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
At the Bears' 10-yard line.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe. that might actually pop and turn into a big play, that's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On second down, Trubisky. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackle for a 2-yard loss in the backfield.
Eric Hendricks in on the tackle. A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12.
On 2nd and 12, Trubisky gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Well, if you're going to turn things around in a game like this, Charles, those are the kind of plays that you need.
And I just love the way that defense rallied to the football on that one. They got the completion, but he was smothered behind the line of scrimmage. And when you make tackles like that, your whole defense is going to be fired up. Really nice play getting to the ball.
And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. A pretty good effort there, 9 yards, but not enough. We'll likely see the punt team now on 4th down. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try to get some points.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd and inches, Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Cousins. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Well, coming into this one, we expected that this offense would have trouble with this defense, and that's exactly the way that this game has gone. Pressure in his face, coverage downfield has been tight. That led to another incompletion. This defense, they're exactly who we thought they were coming into this one.
And that is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So they are going to call on Dan Bailey here. His career long is 56 yards done in Seattle. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss two in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
Brought down back at the 40.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Well, it's third and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
No gain on the play. Second.
Again, it's Cook.
At the 42-yard line.
And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
Good.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
3rd and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
That's good.
It's a first down following a gain of 3. First down, here's the run with Cook. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Trying the power game with Ham. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Brings up 2nd and
they'll run for it with Cook. And he'll get it. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece.
ties the game at 10.
Now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. The drive starts with a completion left side. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Into the third quarter.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. I'll tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Trubisky's pass is caught by Ridley. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
1st down, Bears.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now with shotgun handoff to Cohen. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. And down to the 27-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
A gain of 14.
I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs. That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 24, Trubisky. And Miller will pull this one in. He's got it for the Bears. Touchdown.
Touchdown, Chicago.
Anthony Miller, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead.
The kick
and his kick is good.
Makes the score Bears 17, Vikings 10.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. A fairly short kick from the 14. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock.
Number 30.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Cousins gives way to Cook. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And finally marked down at the 23. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
That's another Vikings 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Now a run with Cook. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Cook. He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as it kicks away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try and grab that lead back. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. Toss play, Cohen, right side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Out of the gun, Trubisky going up top for Miller. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Chicago! Anthony Miller with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Bears have broken the tie. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 32-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now on 2nd and 13, Cousins. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it's 3rd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
3rd and long for Cousins. A crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the rookie, Jalen Johnson. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Steps away to his left. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And he's going to get this down there the 20-yard line. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
1st down, Bears.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they turn.
And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. fairly short kick from the 14. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
23-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
2nd and 12 at the 21-yard line.
2nd and 12. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Bears, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.